How you doing? Would you guys be interested in talking a little bit about religion and why you believe what you believe on camera? I mean, I see you're listening to the street preacher, and I figure that maybe you're religious. Would you mind maybe spending 5 or 10 minutes just talking about religion on camera, and I could put it on YouTube to show other folks? I'm a skeptic. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any gods, but I might be convinced that the God that he's talking about exists, or maybe the God that you believe in exists. Is that something you might want to just chat a little bit about? That'd be cool. Yeah? All right, cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right, my name is Anthony.
I'm Regina.
Hi, Regina. Nice to meet you. Jose?
LJ.
Oh, LJ. Okay. LJ and Regina. Oh, hey. What's up? You want to join the conversation? Okay. He's a street preacher as well. He's not really fond of what I'm doing. So maybe you could just tell me a little bit about yourself. I'll give you a little background about myself. I've been coming out here for about 5 weeks now and just talking with street preachers and people from the general public and trying to understand why they believe what they believe when it comes to religion. Like I said before, I'm a skeptic, and I'm really trying to believe as many things that are true and discard as many things that are false in my life. I feel like, I want to live in reality, so I don't believe in something unless there's evidence for it. And that's kind of where I'm coming from, and why I want to talk to people that believe in God or gods or whatever the case might be. So maybe if you could, I don't know if you want to start Regina or not, or maybe you want to just tell me a little bit about what you guys believe.
Okay. My name is Regina.
Yeah.
I go to church. We attend church Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
3 days a week? Okay.
We're also in charge of the youth group.
Oh.
At our church.
Do you teach religion to kids?
No. Well, yeah, but.
Yeah.
Yeah,
more or less?
We're kind of beginning our youth group.
Okay.
Now.
What denomination are you?
We're Christians.
Christians? Okay. Yeah, I was raised in a Christian household as well, but I never really believed. I mean, I tried to believe, but I guess I don't know if I was just born skeptical or what, but I just always struggled with belief in that. Are you on the same page with Regina? Yeah? Okay. So you believe in the Christian God. Have you always been a believer?
Yes.
Were you guys raised in a Christian family?
No.
You weren't?
I was raised Catholic.
Okay. I was too. Yeah.
And, my parents we didn't really go to church until my mom got married to my stepdad, and my grandpa, he was a preacher.
Oh, okay.
So that was like the only time we went to church, and it was just Sundays, Easters, stuff like that. But as far as every day or, a routine, no.
Yeah. How would you say that you're more religious today than you were when you were a child?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What was it in your life that made you decide to become more religious? Was there a certain event? Like, I've talked to some street preachers out here where maybe they were on drugs and they were just sick of hurting the people that they loved, and they woke up one day and they found Jesus. Was it as abrupt as that in your life, or was it more of a gradual process?
Well, actually, we got married and we decided that we wanted to have an awesome a life that was different from the life that we've had before.
Yeah.
So we decided that we wanted to start going to church.
Okay. That's interesting because it wasn't, when I got married, I really didn't make me more religious, but it wasn't until we started having kids and they started asking all these questions that I really found myself reflecting on my life and, remembering that I wasn't really all that religious and very skeptical, and I didn't want to raise my kids in an environment where I was teaching them something that I didn't strongly believe in.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah, okay, and congratulations on your marriage. How long have you been married for?
2 years.
2 years, okay. Are you guys from San Antonio?
No, we're from Brazoria County.
Brazoria County.
Freeport, Texas.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Okay, so now you're religious and you're doing it sort of in the confines, I guess marriage maybe got you thinking about it. You're thinking about maybe starting a family and doing all that. I know that you were raised in Christian households. Do you feel like, if you were raised in, let's say, Iran, where they're predominantly Muslims, do you think that you would still be a Christian, or do you think that maybe you would be a Muslim at this point in your life? If everything else was the same, but you were born in a different country, like a Muslim country like Iran.
I'm not sure about
I
You're not sure?
I think I would still believe in God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be the Christian God or would it be Allah? Because
Christian God.
the Christian God. How do you think you would have been exposed to that? I mean, I would presume that you're not, you're not practicing Muslim. I mean, I know you're not practically Muslims. You could learn it. There's like a Muslim center that's out here. I just learned by talking to some Muslims earlier. That information's available to you, but you're not gravitating toward that religion, but you're gravitating towards the one that you were raised in. But on the same hand, you said that if you were born in Iran, that you still think that you would have found your way to Christianity. So do you mind maybe elaborating a little bit as far as why you think that might be the case?
I mean, I think I would just because I don't know. I mean, maybe I would just feel that there's just only one God.
Yeah. Okay. But if you were raised in a Muslim household where you prayed 5 times a day, and your parents, made you go to, a Muslim temple, or I guess what do you call it? I don't know, a mosque.
The difference, like seeing on TV or the internet, of like the Muslims what they do,
Yeah.
and the Christians what they do.
Right. Okay.
Just you can see the difference. What's right, what's wrong.
Sure. And tell me a little bit about your beliefs. Like, I know that you believe in the Christian God. Do you believe that this God exists, or is it something that you would say that you know that the God exists? Because there's actually a difference between belief and knowledge. For example, I might get a phone call right now from my daughter who says that our dog was just hit by a car. And I race home, and all the while I'm believing that, my dog is dead or dying or whatever. But I get there and I find out that she was just playing a trick on me. The dog was just fine. So at one point I believed that the dog was seriously injured, but I didn't know it. So I try to use that example to sort of illustrate that there's a difference between believing in something and knowing it. So now that I've gotten that little story out of the way, would you say that you believe that your God is true, or would you say that you know it?
I would say that I have faith that he's.
I would say I know it. I have faith.
You would say you actually know it. You actually know it to be true?
Experience.
Yeah.
With praying to God and showing to me that He's real.
And how do you, for me as an outsider, like I've just talked to some Muslims and now I'm talking to some Christians. How would I come to understand that this is something that you know and it's just not something that you really, really strongly believe?
I mean, like.
Tell me about the house.
Yeah.
Had a strong prayer.
We would go to church on Mondays. Monday is when you would pray, for things that you wanted to change in your life, things that that you deserve to have.
Mm-hmm.
And in our folder, we had a list of things that we wanted to happen to us.
Okay.
I had put in my folder that I wanted to have a black Nissan Maxima.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this faithfully every Monday. We also prayed for a house. I also prayed for a way to start my Mary Kay. Within, months or something like that.
Going to church and praying.
My mom works at a car lot. And my mom just out of nowhere, she called me and said, hey, can your husband come by, and check out this truck? I want to see, if it runs good. I'm thinking about buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, yeah, he can go by there. So she said, okay. So then, she kind of started talking a little bit. She said, well, actually, the vehicle that I'm getting is for you. And I needed a new vehicle.
Okay.
And, my mom said that just something, whenever a customer called about the vehicle on the lot, my mom said that she just all of a sudden had a feeling just to get it for me. And the crazy thing is that it is a black, it is a Nissan, but it's not a Maxima.
Okay.
It's an exterior.
So it does sound like you really strongly believe that prayer is effective. Mm-hmm. Me as a skeptic, standing on the outside, I would be a little dubious of it. And I know, and thank you for sharing. And I don't want to I'm not trying to just shoot you down.
Oh yeah.
But, it would be interesting to be able to sort of do some sort of testing to see if prayer worked. We really can't go back and have you write down those things on the paper like you exactly did, but don't pray for them to see if they would come, because we can't go back in time and duplicate the event. But I get the sense you're pointing to your prayers coming true as evidence that your God exists. That's what it sounds
and
like.
I mean, and we did the fasting, we did the offerings, the praying.
Yeah.
I mean, we did everything that we were supposed to do.
Why didn't you, once you realized that your prayers actually work, that why didn't you just immediately drop, everything and just start praying to end like hunger across the world? Is there any reason why you didn't just, if you truly believe that the prayers were effective and working, maybe extending it to help people that could actually benefit from it?
I mean, we do pray for that. His niece Sabea, she has cancer in her eye, and we pray for her every day that please let them have good news. Please let the blood that's blocking them being able to see in the back of her eye, please let that clear. And I mean, we pray for a lot of things all the time.
But again, we can't, and I don't know what the outcome of that, or if it's sort of an ongoing thing. And we really can't go back and say, well, let's not pray for it and see if the situation got better or worse, or let's just all pray for it. Because even if we all prayed for it and it got better, I would say it really isn't proof that it actually helped, because we can't go back and do a comparison to say, if we didn't pray for it, she actually took a turn for the worse. You know what I'm saying? But you did mention a little bit earlier on that you have faith as well. So it's not only what you're perceiving as evidence that your prayers are coming true, but is there a component of faith in your belief as well?
Yeah, faith, to pray to Him.
Could you just speak up just a little bit?
We had prayed to pray to Him that,
Yeah. Are you saying that faith is prayer? Are you equating the two? Yeah.
Yeah, faith in God.
Okay.
He's going to do what He believes.
Okay, so faith to you is the prayers or the actions of the prayers? Is that kind of what you're saying, or is it separate?
I think it's separate, right? It's your faith. You're using your faith for your prayers.
What is your definition of faith? Well, maybe we should just start with that. Do you have an actual definition of faith?
Faith to me is believing.
Believing?
God is real. God is the truth, and He is alive.
I know that you don't believe in Allah, the Muslim God. So are you using faith to not believe in Allah, or are you using just faith to only believe in things that you want to believe in?
No, I mean, I don't believe in Allah. I don't believe in Buddha. I don't believe in Saint Michael, Saint Christopher.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any of the saints. I only believe in God.
Have you ever tried an experiment to say, let me just, maybe not something as important as your niece who has the eye issue, but maybe praying to Allah to see if the prayers to that God came true? Have you ever considered doing that? Is there a reason why?
There's only one God.
Okay. And is that something that you believe, or is it something that you know?
I know.
You say that you know it.
By faith, I know.
By faith you know it. Okay. There's a definition of faith that I really like, and that's believing in something without evidence. Or there's maybe a more controversial one. It's pretending to know something that you don't know. Do you have any opinions on those definitions, or would you agree that faith is belief without evidence? Or okay.
Yeah.
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 Is it important for you to, is it important for you that what you believe in is true or not? That is to say, if we can show conclusively that prayer just didn't work, like we've studied this for 10 years, and we know that no amount of prayers, whether it's to the Christian God or to Allah or Buddha or, whatever different gods there are out there, that we know conclusively that just prayer is not effective. Would you be willing to sit down and listen to that evidence, or would you just not even be willing to even entertain the idea?
I don't even think I would entertain it. Would you?
You wouldn't even listen to it? No. See, I'm a skeptic. My mind is open. You kind folks might be the ones that convince me that your God exists. You might convince me that your prayer really is effective. Your God does exist, and my mind is open.
You're a skeptic, but your mind's open?
Yes, I'm open to the... How is it?
It's a paradox.
Skeptics always have their minds open.
Oh, really?
So if you don't mind, let me get back to these folks, then we can talk later.
I'm talking
Okay.
now.
Well, we're kind of in the middle of a conversation here.
Oh, that's fine. I'm in the middle of preaching all the time. You come up to me with a camera.
I haven't done that for the last couple weeks.
Last about 30
So,
days.
I'm sorry about that.
You're a skeptic, but your mind's open.
Yeah, so if you listen, I'll explain. If you listen, I'll explain.
Jesus is in the
You
scriptures.
might have
Roman
evidence.
history documents, and Pontius Pilate was a real governor.
Okay.
Roman history.
Well,
he was tried on.
yeah, there might be some evidence that maybe Troy can present to me, or you can present to me, that show that your God is real. I'm open to that.
Babylonian history.
Are you open?
Prophets were written down
Are
in
you
Babylon.
open to the idea that your God maybe doesn't exist? You said that you wouldn't even be willing. You wouldn't even be willing to sit down and listen to the evidence. So that I think on that point we're different. You know, your minds do seem to be closed, and you're content with your belief that your God exists. Even though we might have evidence, and you're basing that belief on your prayers coming true.
Prayers,
But even if we can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prayers in the
In
Bible.
viruses?
yeah.
You can't see a virus. Do you believe in viruses?
I've heard I know you just preached that.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
believe
Yeah, I
it?
took some notes. We'll talk later.
No, we'll talk
Okay.
about it. Do you believe in it?
I really don't want to talk to you right now.
You demand the same thing of me when I'm preaching. Now it's my turn.
You want to talk right now?
You do it now.
We can sit down and talk right now if you
I'm
want.
asking you a simple question like you interrupt me. Now you
Okay.
can answer me. You demand answers
We
from
can
me
see
when
we
I'm
can see
preaching.
viruses.
Now you know how it feels.
Yeah, we can see viruses, Troy.
You can't see them?
Yes.
When you see them infect you and make you sick?
The actual act of seeing a virus doesn't make you sick,
what I'm
but the
saying.
virus can make you sick.
Right, but you can't physically see
Okay,
it.
I'm
But you're
kind
asking
of sorry
for
about
evidence.
this.
You're asking for
As you can tell,
evidence
we've got a
why
little
you
bit of a history. So,
You're asking for evidence why you get sick, why you believe. I'm asking you, viruses make you sick, but you can't see them. But they
okay,
can kill
so
you.
I guess we should probably just
You
wrap
can't
it up.
see
I'm really
it,
sorry
right?
about that.
Oh,
He's interrupting us.
I'm a Christian too. I have to deal
Okay.
with this guy for 2 months now. He comes down here and pretends to be skeptic and open-minded, but all he's trying to do is go around to Christians who are listening and asking questions that he thinks are intelligent. And he tries to make you doubt your faith. And I'm trying to tell
Oh yeah,
him,
no,
not gonna
it's not gonna
I'm
happen.
trying to tell him that Jesus is in the scriptures.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the Bible. That's not good enough for him. So I told him to read Egyptian history, read Babylonian history. The prophets are in Babylonian history, Roman history. Pontius Pilate was a real governor.
There are actually no first-hand biblical. There are actually no historical accounts of Jesus at all, except for the Bible.
Oh, really?
So what do you,
Why don't you
yeah.
go online and type up secular history that Jesus existed?
What is your? Can you give me one example of an author that wrote something
Why
about
don't you
Jesus?
do that and you'll find like
I've done
10
it.
websites,
I've done it. I've researched
and you'll
it.
see the names. You'll see
What
the
are
names.
name one of them? It's so important to you.
I
Can you
don't
name
know
one?
the names exactly.
You can't name one of them?
I can't name one.
Tacitus, Josephus. How
All
about those?
names.
Yeah.
All those names.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. You don't. So, I think we'll just end it here. I really do thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Regina. And is it EL or LE?
LJ.
LJ. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to sit down and talk, we can.
I'm done now.
You're done now because you just interrupted me?
Just like you do
What,
me.
what are you so afraid of?
I love it, man. Just like you do love me.
What are you-
You love interrupting me when I'm preaching, don't you?
Let's talk right
You
now.
just said you loved it, right?
When did I say that?
You don't remember?
Did I say just
Just
now?
last week? You don't remember?
I love having discussions with people about religion, which is why I'm out here.
You love asking them why they believe
What
they
are you
believe.
What are
and
you so
came to
afraid
one
of?
evidence.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything.
You sure seem like you are.
I'm not. You
Why
come down
are you
here-
so Why are you so agitated by me asking questions?
Why do you spend time away from your wife and daughter that you say you
'Cause
care
this
so
this
much
is
about?
important to me.
It's so important to you to come out and ask people why they believe
Right.
what they believe, but you claim not to believe. Why don't you be like everybody else? If they don't believe, they just go their own way, and they just forget about it. But you have to come down here.
I can
every
answer-
weekend
let me answer that
and
question.
Spend hours away from your wife and daughter that
Yeah,
you could be spending time
it's a
with.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because this is important to me.
So why
This-
would you sacrifice so much time to come down here and ask people why they believe?
I'm glad that you asked that.
And you claim to want evidence.
I'm going to tell you the answer. Please let me finish. Your beliefs affect other people. What you are believing in, based on no evidence, affects this world.
You're using it as no
Okay.
evidence. That's your favorite
Right.
grandstand. We've given you plenty of
Right,
evidence.
but let me finish the question. You are not making, your beliefs are not in a vacuum. You know, you're out here talking to hundreds of people, trying to convince them that what you're believing in is true, that Muslims are wrong. You have no evidence for your beliefs. You can't back up what you're saying, but you affect what our kids are being taught in schools. You affect what our politicians do. You know, you are the majority in this country, and you're affecting.
So you're finally telling the truth. I finally got it out of you. You're down
Right.
here to trying to ruin what we're doing. You're trying to be our adversary.
I am trying to get people to see that faith is not a pathway to the truth.
Exactly. You're trying.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I knew you were doing. That's why
Yeah.
I'm agitated so much because you're
Why?
down here. I'm not afraid of you at all.
Okay, I'm not
Okay?
afraid of you either.
I'm not, but I know what you're doing down here, and you're claiming
that's
to use
exactly what I'm
evidence
doing.
because you're not man enough to say you're down here for the reason you're down here for. You want to pretend to come up to people and ask them questions.
I think
with
I've been
your little
pretty
camera.
upfront with you as far as that.
You're not being upfront. You're just using your little go cam, walking around.
What
with your
is it
little
with you and my
camera.
camera? You just hate
Because
this
it's
little
stupid,
camera.
It's silly. But he walks around.
Every
and
time we
films
talk, he
people
mentions
and
my
does
little
interviews,
camera.
And he claims to ask me questions like deep deeply, just like he's doing to you. But your real reason is that you don't like Christianity and you don't like God. You don't like anything to do with God. And something probably happened to you.
Are you saying that I hate your God?
Yeah, I think you do. I think
how can I hate? How can I hate something that I don't believe in?
I think you got offended when
Do
you
you
were a
do you
kid,
hate
and
the
now
Easter
you
Bunny?
hate God.
Do you hate the Easter Bunny?
Huh?
Do you hate the Easter Bunny?
If he was real, I'd hate him.
If he was real, you'd hate the Easter Bunny?
Is he real? Do you have evidence that he exists?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have evidence.
Well, do you hate him then?
No, I don't. You can't hate something that you don't believe in.
Right.
Which is my illustration.
That's
so
my point to you.
I don't hate your.
God,
I don't hate your
you
God.
do, because you wouldn't
No,
be
I
down
don't.
here spending all your time
No.
doing what you're doing. Yeah,
No.
you do.
I'm disappointed with people that make decisions based on faith and ignore science. Yeah,
That's all I needed, man.
That's exactly why I'm out here. I'm not hiding that fact, Troy. All right. So, do you want to continue the discussion, or you want to just wrap it up? I mean,
Oh, no.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
I have to go pretty soon. I actually have to go to my family because we're celebrating Valentine's Day dinner. So, I am sacrificing my time with my family to meet with people that are religious, because, like I said, people that make decisions based on faith worry me, because people that pray to Allah or to your God or to Buddha or have faith to those gods, they're all using the same methodology to determine what's true. You know, me as an outsider, I can't tell which one is actually accurate, because you're all using faith to decide in that. You know, I'm not convinced that faith is a good pathway to the truth. What do you have? Do you have any thoughts on that? I know I've been doing a lot of talking, so.
No, I mean,
Just faith, I can feel it in my
yeah.
heart.
You feel him in your heart? Yeah.
Changing me, I can feel him. Things he does for me.
Yeah. Now, you had mentioned earlier, I think before that, you know, you decided maybe start a small business or
Yeah.
something.
literally.
Yeah. And did you end up starting that?
Mm-hmm.
And would you say that that's a result of your prayer, the prayers that you had
I
to your
would
God?
say that it's not only that, but it's the faith that I was able to have inside of myself.
Yeah. Is it possible that it really wasn't the prayers and the faith and a God, that it was really just the result of your hard work? That, you know, you stayed up late at night studying, you got online and, you know, watched videos of people that do this type of stuff, and, you know, it was really just a result of
I
your
didn't
hard
do
work?
any of that.
No?
No.
Just one day you just woke up and decided to become, you know, get into that?
Like how we got our house. Just one day I went to my boxing coach's house, and he was visiting his house and asked me, and that's the time we're doing our prayers for the house.
Yeah.
And he just said, hey man, you want to take over the house? There it is. Like
Yeah.
that, out of nowhere.
And there's nothing that would convince you that your prayers actually aren't working, that it's just a result of, you know, human beings just doing these things?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I had been in a place that I lived in for 11 years.
Yeah.
Just stuck right there.
Okay.
Finally gave up my life to Christ. There I am growing.
And what do you mean, like you gave it up to Christ? Like you just decided that that's what you would just be believing in completely?
Yeah. That's where I follow.
That's what we're.
Have my faith in.
I mean, I've always believed in God, like I said, but I've never really sat there and gone to church. I never really prayed. Only, you know, like he said, when something bad happened, that was the only time I would pray. But prayer on a daily basis, no.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, and we have changed our life. I was a big time party girl. I got into a car accident to where I should be either dead right now or not being able to walk.
Oh my gosh.
And I do believe that I was saved by God for like my purpose. I haven't served my purpose yet. Rather, that's to be for me to be here to raise both, you know, us to raise, you know, our kids together and make sure, you know, they're raised the right way, or you know, whatever it was, you know, I mean, whatever path it was that God has for me.
Yeah. Now I know that you said that you know, you wouldn't be open to listening to evidence that the prayer didn't work. You know, scientists are willing to revise their theories if new evidence comes in. So like, for example, like evolution, you know, if we found like a human jawbone embedded in rock from like the Cretaceous period, you know, that would really throw the whole theory of evolution on its head. Is there anything, have you ever considered that there might be something that would ever be discovered one day, or might come up just to show that, you know, what you've been believing in is actually false. Are your beliefs falsifiable?
I mean, not unless there was like a gorilla that was inside of the zoo that just all of a sudden started becoming human. I mean, you know, after birth, and then finally there was like a human.
You're talking about evolution?
Then yeah, maybe. But until then, like, no, I don't believe that we were, you know, from apes, because why are they not? Why haven't they turned into humans?
So if
why are there still apes? Why are there still monkeys?
Well, I can answer that. But if the theory of evolution was proven to you to be true, would that be that one piece of? Would that be like the nail in the heart of your beliefs, or would you still?
I would still believe.
Because I could see, you know, it's my understanding based on the evidence that evolution is true. Now I understand why that's such a threat to people like Troy and Christians, because that would mean that there's no Adam and Eve. That would mean that there was no Garden of Eden. That would mean that there wasn't a fall of man. That would mean that there was no need to send Jesus back for our sins. So I get that. I understand the importance of evolution. But, you know, scientists that study this stuff conclude based on the evidence that evolution really is a fact. That it really is, it really is our reality, that we did evolve from other, you know, animals. That apes or gorillas and humans actually share a common ancestor. If we were to follow us and them back, we'd find that we came from an actual a common ancestor. So we branched off, and that's why, you know, an ape will never give birth to a human, for example. So, you know, evolution as we know it right now is a fact. Now, science is open to new evidence. You know, that's the beauty of the scientific method, that it's open to possibly being revised if evidence were to be produced that would change it. But to contrast that with your position, you're not even willing to change your mind, even if it could be shown that you might be believing in the wrong God.
I think I would still believe in him. I mean, there's good and there's evil, and I mean,
there's just too much that God has shown me to not believe.
Okay. Well, I really do thank you for your time, and if I could just leave you with one little, I call it a thought challenge. But are you visiting? You said you're visiting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe on the drive back, you know, if you could just ask yourself, you know, if I were to pray for something and it came true, would that really be evidence that the prayer worked?
Well,
or would it?
Question my God.
Well, I'm not asking you to question your God, but maybe just question the methodology that you're using to arrive at the decisions that it seems like you've come to be at. If you could just consider that would really be worth my time coming out here and being away from my family.
Wouldn't that be questioning you?
Pardon?
Wouldn't that be questioning you?
I don't know. I mean, if your God is real, He would have given you a mind, and, you know, an inquisitive mind and critical thinking, and, you know, I can't answer that because I don't believe the God is actually real. But, you know, maybe you'll have to ask that, or, you know, if you want to maybe ask somebody at your church that if that's okay for you to do. I don't know if that's what you want to do or not, but okay. All right, cool. Is there anything that you guys want to say in closing before we wrap it up? I'll give you the last word.
God bless.
All right, cool. All right, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I'm sorry about that interruption.
Oh, it's okay.
That's like the second time he's done it. But I think he's really just trying to understand why I'm out here. And I want to be very clear with people, you know, that, you know, I'm not convinced that faith is really helpful. I would go so far as to say that it's actually harmful for our society. Okay. All right, cool. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.